Hey, what's up everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so headed to go get my Thai meal. Y'all know how I do on this side of town. If it's not a Monday, it shouldn't be a reason why I can't get my my rice. So this is my cheat meal for the month. Basically once a month I'm able to do this. Probably shouldn't with my finances being as it is, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. I don't care. It's a one time where I don't have to discipline myself against eating out. And the food is good. It's good for me for the most part, so I can't complain. But after I made that video, I laid it down, man. Made up some of that sleep that I missed last night. Given that I slept only about 5.5 hours, I slept for about another 2 here in the room. Woke up, took a shower, feeling great. I feel so much better right now. So that's exactly what I need. Now I'm going out here and get the fish. The rice. I already ordered it, so it should be ready by the time I get there. I'll walk back here and get the chow going, man. This is something I look forward to a lot. You know, the Uber driver that I was riding with, he told me that the post office around the corner is one of the best post offices in the city for getting your passport. Now, I don't necessarily need a passport for anything specific, but I would like to have one on file. You know what I mean? Like to have one. And so I think that might be a mission I try to make happen. Some point in time this month, I can plan that out where I'm on a day like today, where I'm on this side of town, and go over to this post office before it closes and see what they're talking about. You know, he swore by it. He was like, "Yo, anywhere in the city, anywhere in LA, you're not gonna find a better post office to get your passport than the one that's literally a few steps from where I'm at right now." And I'm like, yo, that's great news, because I've been talking about getting my passport for years. I just never followed through on it. Are you trying to tell me that you recommend this one? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. This is Sun Valley. I got no business over here other than the days that I spend in the motel. The day that I spend in the motel once every 3 weeks. Otherwise, there's nothing bringing my life over here. But that's what it is. He said it. This one, I think, is either here, down that block, Ratner, I think that's the way we came up, because we took a different route. Yeah, that's that right there. That post office down that way on Ratner in Sun Valley. It's that brick building on the right side. For those who were able to glance at that. If you need your passport, according to this guy, it's an Armenian brother. He said, yo, this is where he is. This is where it's at. That's the one to go to in the city. So I'm like, all right, then. That's great news. I will make it a point to try to get that done before the end of the year. I don't know how much it costs. I haven't priced a passport in years, many years. I'm sure it's gone up. But I guess you reserve like $200 or something. Back in the day, it was like $75 to get it. I don't think it's probably the same price anymore. But I just think at this point, every citizen should have their passport, man. With what this country's doing, with what we understand is going on in the country right now, you should be able to get up out of here if you need to. You should have the legal ability. Every citizen should have the legal ability to get up out of here at a moment's notice. Don't have anything in the way of you being able to get the hell out of this place, because the enemies that this country is trying to poke at on behalf of its greatest ally, so to speak, are dangerous people, man. I just want to put that out there. This country is trying to pick fights with people that you do not pick fights with. Not if you're sane. And that is what I'm starting to understand. I don't think America is working on its own interests. I firmly believe that Israel is we are being used by Israel as its weapon of choice. We're expected to have one of the most powerful armies in the world, the most capable military, the greatest nuclear program, endless resources basically this country has. And Israel has this country by the balls based on these politicians doing all that weird sex stuff that it has evidence of. And so what it ends up being is, you ask yourself, the people who have this country moving in whatever direction it does it really care about the country at all? And the answer is, of course not. If you know about them people, you know they don't like nothing about anything Christian. They hate Christ, and this is supposed to be a Christian nation. So what that means is, if they got you pointed at something as a weapon, chances are whatever fight they have you picking is not necessarily a fight they expect you to win. This is what America and all of us, especially all of my service people, all of the people that follow me who have children in the armed services, you need to understand that the people who are pointing our military in whatever direction don't necessarily have their best interests at heart. And I think that's one of the safest ways you can say it. I could be obviously more colorful with what it is I've come to understand, but they do not care if you lose the battle that you're engaging in on their behalf. They don't care that you lose. They're not interested in upholding you. They don't care, bro. It's like, you know, I don't know how a better analogy than what it is. They got the biggest army under their control in some nefarious ways, and they don't particularly like the people representing it at all. They don't particularly like any of them. So if they got us pointed at the big bad wolf, they gonna throw us at the big bad wolf. Now, maybe we win the fight, maybe we don't. But if we don't, it's not like they're going to withhold any of what it is that we are because we can't win the fight. You see what I'm saying? They'll do nasty stuff knowing they can hide behind our army. They will poke at people who you probably shouldn't be poking at because they know they can fall back on us and we gonna do something about it. And that is a very dangerous space. You know, one of my good friends, her son just joined the Air Force. She's very proud of him. She's not in my life anymore. I haven't known her in many years. It's been probably over 18 years since we were close. But if we were close now, I would holler at her and say, look, this is definitely not the time for your son to be joining the armed forces. I don't know her walk of life anymore. I don't know where she's at. You know, we kind of had a falling out back in the day, but we also came together and were friends again after that falling out. So the last time we saw one another, we had a wonderful time. But, you know, we didn't keep in touch. It's still love on my end. I think it's still love on hers. If I know her, she not mad at me anymore or nothing like that. But the point is I don't know her to call her now and say, yo, this is something you need to be worried about. There's a lot of trust that comes with that conversation. There's a lot of context and the evidence that you have to bring to the table. And then you got to have some understanding that you're just bringing about fear in somebody's heart without actually bringing solutions to the circumstance. I don't know that I'm doing her any favors by saying, hey, look, I found some stuff. And because of it, I think no one new should be joining our military. But that's exactly what I think. That's exactly what I think. And it's not because I have a problem with military men. Most of my family military men. People, you know, the person who's taking care of my lifestyle right now is a military man or retired. You know what I mean? My dad, my grandfather, my uncle, my nephew, my brother, all military men. So it ain't about me being anti-military or there's something wrong with being a military man. It's absolutely the opposite. But it's just about who's controlling the gun. If the military's the gun and you got a bad guy holding the gun, then that is the issue that I'm describing to you. If we had a good guy holding the gun, then yeah, let's join the military if it moves your heart. If you want to serve, that's honorable. That's honorable. I'd be proud of anybody in my life that wants to serve in that regard. I decided I wanted to serve before I understood this dynamic back in the day. I just didn't follow through. But the reality is who is controlling your military and what are their intentions? And the people who control our military right now, they have horrible intentions. That's proven. Even if you don't want to get into the details or the speculation or all the different stuff that people may say are conspiracy theories, what we're seeing from our government is not good. A layman can tell you that. So I'm saying if you're going to join right now, You could be potentially doing the wrong thing. You're a gun held by a bad guy pointed at a problem that you probably shouldn't even be forced into. And that's what I'm telling everybody. I'm not saying anything other than that. But I'm definitely saying that. And so I think there are enough people who are much more qualified than me, who have served, who could tell you something a bit more informed. There's certainly a lot of benefits and all of that to join in. But when you got these people controlling what's going on with our military, you should probably not want to give your life for their causes. And that's without the information that I have found in my little studies of life about the people who are behind the people making decisions, so to speak. What I understand, you definitely don't want to be any kind of weapon for them. Because they don't respect anybody, least of all the weapon itself. And they will destroy our country and our wonderful military to accomplish goals that only exalt them, that actually don't even really do that, but they believe it does. And that is what I've been trying to express to people in so many different videos. And I want people to understand, like, at the end of the day, it's not about anything other than just understanding that our military is being controlled by bad people right now. That's all it is, man. And because I understand that, I want to share that with y'all. And I think there's a conversation to be had about different things that people are trying to do, or different things people are trying to guard against in our military, and how they conflict with certain things. And I was looking at what Candace Owens has been trying to unearth in regards to what she's finding out about the Charlie Kirk murder and what she believes is taking place, different tea leaves she's following. And I think one of the tea leaves that she followed may have unearthed some things that some of our good military members don't want unearthed. Some of the people who are not aligned with the bad guys, but are concerned about the security of their fellow military, I think she may have kind of peeked underneath one of those mats, so to speak. And it gets really tricky because you don't really know what all there is to protect against as it pertains to national security. You know what I mean? You don't know what bad things tie into our safety. It becomes really tricky, and I try to keep an open mind as it pertains to certain things. Because there are certain people in the military that I ultimately trust with my life. But I also think that some of the things that they may want to keep secret might unearth some things that most definitely deserve to be unearthed. At what cost? And maybe we don't understand the context of that cost. It becomes tricky, and we're forced as civilians, as laymen, to trust. But what I would tell all of my military members is, especially if you're a believer in God, it becomes a conversation where you and us have to trust in God. And if you find out what it is that you've been doing that's supposed to be keeping people safe, ultimately enables horrific and awful things and enables bad people to continue doing things in horrific ways, there becomes a conversation where we have to ask, when do we allow God to give us the strength to live with the losses or live with the risks that potentially come with stopping the evil person from doing the evil thing, or stopping the evil person from continuing to control things that lead us into the terror that ultimately we pride ourselves with being safe from because of you. That's what I ask all my service members without actually understanding what all there is, just fathoming that there may be a lot of bad that needs to be covered up in order for everybody to be safe. If covering that stuff up is going to continue to see some of the things that we've seen in these Epstein files, or if it continues to enable certain things that are just nefarious and allowing people who are in the Epstein files to continue controlling things rather, at what point do we start saying these are necessary losses? Whatever goes wrong for exposing this, whatever goes wrong for correcting this, may just be a necessary evil for the preservation of our freedoms, our country, or whatever the word would be. And so that's just what I want to leave y'all with. It's a little bit of a nugget, very vague, very open-ended, but I hope it made sense, man. I just think that sometimes in the presence of trying to do what we've been trained to do, we end up enabling things that should not be done. Bdf 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.